All right, let's put on our detective hats. We've got a real cosmic crime scene on our hands today. Our subject? A strange, beautiful galaxy called Messier 90, hiding out in the busy neighborhood of the Virgo Cluster.
So here it is, Messier 90, or M90 for short. Now, at first glance, it looks pretty normal, right? Like a textbook intermediate spiral galaxy, just a gorgeous pinwheel of stars. But, as you're about to find out, looks can be deceiving. Behind that serene appearance, a really violent story is unfolding.
I love this quote from an astronomer. It just nails the situation perfectly. The center of M90, its core, is just buzzing with activity. It's what's called a nuclear starburst. New stars are being born like crazy. But then you look out at its spiral arms, and it's a ghost town. They're strangely quiet, almost lifeless. And because of that strange quietness, scientists have given it a pretty stark name, an anemic galaxy. Just think about that for a second. It means it's being starved of the raw materials it needs to build new stars. So yeah, in a very real sense, this magnificent galaxy is slowly being shut down. Okay, so we've definitely got a mystery on our hands. Some powerful force is out there doing this to M90. The big question is, what is it? So today, let's follow the evidence together and see if we can crack this case. Now, our first clue, interestingly enough, isn't actually inside the galaxy itself. Nope. To understand what's happening to it, we have to look at where it lives, this really chaotic, dense, and violent neighborhood called the Virgo Cluster. You see, the space between galaxies in a cluster like this isn't empty. Not at all. It's actually filled with this vast, invisible sea of incredibly hot gas. We call it the intracluster medium, or ICM for short, and we're talking millions of degrees hot. And M90, it's just plunging right through the middle of it. And it is not taking a leisurely stroll either. M90 is screaming through this stuff at a staggering 1,300 kilometers per second. To try and put that into perspective, that's nearly 3 million miles per hour. Just wow. So, what do you think happens when a massive galaxy plows through a sea of hot gas at that kind of incredible speed? Well, the consequences, as we're about to see, are, to put it mildly, pretty dramatic. An astronomer came up with this brilliant analogy, and it's just perfect. You know, even though the air isn't really moving, you feel that powerful force on your hand just because of your speed. Well, for a galaxy, that same effect is called ram pressure, and it acts like an unimaginably powerful cosmic wind. And this constant, immense pressure is literally stripping the lifeblood out of Messier 90. It's tearing away all that cold gas and its spiral arms, the very fuel it needs to make new stars, and it's just leaving it all to trail behind in space. And the result is this absolutely spectacular tail of ionized gas. Astronomers have discovered it stretching for at least 230,000 light-years behind the galaxy. I mean, if you're looking for the smoking gun in our cosmic crime scene, this is it. This is the definitive evidence that gas is being violently ripped away. So, there we have it. Ram pressure is the culprit. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. When scientists looked even closer at the evidence, they realized something was off. Ram pressure, all by itself, just couldn't explain everything they were seeing. Scientists tried to model the shock wave, like the bow wave in front of a speedboat that M90 should be creating as it moves through all that gas. But when they ran the models using only gas pressure, the shape of the shock wave was just wrong. It didn't match the X-ray data at all. The solution, it turned out, was a new, unexpected force. The moment scientists added magnetism into their models, bam! Everything suddenly just clicked into place. It was a perfect match for what they were observing. So it turns out Messier 90 isn't just a passive victim here. That starburst in its core is powering a galactic superwind, and it's ejecting these enormous magnetized radiolobes out into space. And these lobes are so powerful, they're actually pushing back against the force of that ram pressure wind. Magnetism is an active player in this whole cosmic drama. And this discovery, this idea that powerful magnetic fields are actively shaping an entire galaxy's fate, well, that does more than just solve a piece of the M90 puzzle. It throws open the door to one of the biggest and most fundamental questions in all of astrophysics. Yeah, what we're learning from M90 forces us to confront one of the deepest puzzles in modern cosmology.
We see these huge magnetic fields everywhere we look. But where in the world did they come from in the first place? Now, mainstream theories are pretty complex, but some scientists propose a more direct, though I should say highly debated explanation. They suggest that vast electric currents flowing between galaxies along the cosmic web could be generating these magnetic fields through a process that's a lot like an electrical transformer.
Okay, now that is a very strong viewpoint from a proponent of that theory. And it's really important to state that this is a very active and sometimes contentious area of scientific debate. But you know what it really highlights? It just shows how much we still have to learn about the fundamental forces that shape our entire universe. So, after following all the clues, what's the final verdict in the case of Messier 90? And maybe more importantly, why does the story of this one particular galaxy matter anyway? Well, the story of M90 is a perfect lesson in cosmic ecology. It shows us that galaxies are not these lonely islands just floating in space. They are constantly interacting with their environment. It proves that forces like ram pressure can kill a galaxy, and that invisible forces like magnetism play a powerful shaping role. And it shows that even as they're stripped apart, these galaxies enrich the universe, seeding the void with the materials for new stars to be born.
And so the investigation of Messier 90 leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. If a single, supposedly dying galaxy can contain such a dynamic battle between stellar winds, galactic motion, and cosmic magnetism, what other incredible stories are hiding out there in the dark, just waiting to be discovered? It seems the universe is a far more electric and magnetic place than we ever imagined.